Morning, guys. Raptor Freak. Sunday morning after we lost to Boston in the preseason last night by not too many points. And it was a pretty close game for most of the game. And, the Raptors had an amazing second quarter where they scored a lot of points. And in the first three preseason games, the Raptors have had quarters like that where they've just kind of blown up and just exploded in offense and gotten like an insane amount of points, which really shows that this talent on this team is very potent when focused and used, in a very thoughtful way. Last night was tough in some ways, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, when have you enjoyed watching the team and not felt bad about them losing at the end like this against Boston? It's preseason. It's like that. Just a few things that I noticed. I think that part of the reason why the Raptors are having such a hard time starting the game right now is that, and I know why Nick Nurse is doing this because it makes sense, and he probably should do this just for right now. I think is partly starting Goran Dragic. I'm not gonna lie. I think we get off to a slow start partly because of him and Precious being in the starting lineup and Scotty, because that's three starters that aren't familiar with our system completely, and they're also not familiar with our team very much. Now, if you integrate like one or two starters into a normal starting core from the year before, it's easier. But because we have three guys that are new out there in the start, it's been tougher. We really miss Pascal right now. And anybody who's making any assessments of this team, they're really blind and really need to wait until Pascal gets back. And we see what we are with Pascal fully healed and involved in the offense. Also, Kem Birch. Kem Birch really kind of sets our defensive tone down low. And we haven't had that at all. Like, very sparing defense played in these last three games. Like, none of the Raptors defense that I like to see so far in preseason. We haven't seen it at all. But, Nick, like he said it again in the press conference after the game, he's not trying stuff too hard yet. He's going to show the real stuff when the real season starts. So it's really just kind of like go out there and screw around, guys, and try and win the game. And that's why I'm so positive about last night, because this is the thing. Our team is dangerous. All of a sudden, they can just explode and get 43 points in the second quarter against a team like Boston, and they're just raw. It's like a wild animal that just needs to be tamed and trained a bit. It's just we can't. It's too wild and raw right now, the team and the energy on it. And we'll get more of a handle on it. Like they said in the press conference, we get those four guys back, Yuta included. We get more of stability in from last year, this year, because we really do need Pascal in the lineup to be the real Raptors, to me at least. OG, once again, phenomenal, showing that consistency we knew we were seeing so far is continued. And Fred, people are worried about Fred's shot. Well, there you go. There's Fred's shot last night. We seen Fred can still shoot, and Fred is still a great scorer, and he was fantastic last night. All right, back to Dragic real quick. I think that Nick has to start Dragic right now because it's a veteran respect kind of thing. It's like give him the starts now. But to me, I think he's already lost the starting position because this is the thing. These are battles for these spots. And Dragic hasn't really done anything. He's not even hitting his shot really that well. And honestly, I don't see the use in him on this team other than to be a mentor for Scotty and young players and, just be an information person, because his game and at his age, to me, he just doesn't look like he belongs out there in some ways. I don't know. He could show something all of a sudden, or maybe all of a sudden he fits with the team and clicks a little bit more, and then it seems like he's better. But even the last couple of years in Miami, I didn't think he was that good. Like, he was already coming off the bench for them. And he just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Goran. He has to really wow me to win me over. I like that he's on the right mental place to be on Toronto now, but I don't know if he's going to be somebody that I really want to see on the court very much at all. Especially if he's going to play this way, the last 3 preseason games, the way he's played in these last 3 preseason games, he doesn't deserve to be in the rotation. I mean, he doesn't. He doesn't. You deserve to put Delano Banton in the rotation over him, or Sweegie, the Sweegie, sir. That's what Scotty Barnes posted on Instagram last night. That they're calling Sweegie because his shot's wet like water, so they're calling him Sweegie Mahalik. So these guys are going to get more time than Goran, hopefully in the regular season, because this is the thing. He's a vet. He knows what he needs to do to get playing time, and he's not doing it. So, and I really do think our slow starts have to do with him being out there, and we're not right away doing what we do. That's not our best starting 5. When you put Goran Dragic in the starting 5, I'm sorry, he's not. We could put Delano Banton in the starting 5, and we'd be better. So anyway, yeah, and Gary Trent. All right. Gary Trent's shooting has been here and there this preseason so far, and it's been frustrating. But if you saw at the end of the half what happened with that last second shot where he put us up at the last second to end the half, that's what we're going to see a few times this year. Gary will hit these clutch shots for us this year, where they will be right at the last second of the buzzer, and we win. That's why I love Gary Trent. And I think that we need to encourage him to shoot as much as possible, because shooters got to shoot. And this guy, once he gets on fire, he hits a lot of stuff all over the place, whether it's outside the 3, if it's mid-range, it's all kinds of stuff. He's just a great offensive player. And Nick Nurse is saying he's shown real strides on his defense. So he's going to get time out there, and we can expect him to hit a shot like that. And to me, if you're looking at the game as a game of 2 halves, we won the first half because we came out so shitty in the beginning of the game and let them run us all over us. And then in the second quarter, we went crazy and ended up being ahead by halftime. That's really impressive, honestly, in a lot of ways, because we only scored 16 points in the first quarter. And it looked really bad. Like, the way we started was so flat and awful. But once again, I'm not super worried about Boston. Boston is not as good as they were in the bubble when they beat us, as I said. And they've got some cool, interesting role players and stuff. Jason Tatum's a weird guy. I don't know. He was annoying last night. I did like the whole back and forth between him and OG, and that kind of competitiveness that you could tell was going on out on the court. That's like Magic and Larry kind of stuff, talking trash during the game. And, you know, that rivalry could be really good over the years, Tatum versus Anunoby. But, man, Jason Tatum's kind of just like I don't know. I want to be nice here. He's kind of a jerk. It's just like watching him like operate on the court, and he just seems kind of has an air to him. I don't know. He's Boston's problem. He's not our problem, thank God. Some people will say, whoa, you'd love to have Jason Tatum as a problem. Maybe, maybe not. You know, we kind of built from character. Can we have those good players and character too? I don't know. And Jason Tatum's probably a good guy, but he really seemed arrogant last night in some of the ways he was carrying himself last night. And it really was fun to see the shit talk and see them go back and forth with each other. Tatum's going Mamba mode. Well, we'll see. I mean, that's a tall order to get in the Mamba mode. I mean, there was only one man that could do Mamba mode. All right, let's see. Also, you know, we didn't shoot as well as them. They shot way better than us. This is what I'm saying. If we can focus this raw energy of this team and get it more organized and understanding everything that it needs to do, it's just going to get better and better. And if you think about how well we've hung into these games, like, let's not count Thursday really, because it was kind of garbage how we got back into it. But yesterday, without even having our shit together, like, we don't really know. We're not really doing things right now. We're not even really organized. We're just kind of, it's like, go out there and F around, guys, and do this and do that. And we're doing really well. So just imagine when we kind of get our plan and our what we're doing together, we're more efficient. We understand like with their bodies, like they're doing things more in a way that gets the points easier and not have all this extra stuff or cut out some of the weird turnovers and different. They're just going to get better and better and better as the season goes on, and they understand and learn each other as players, and they just the synergy grows and they learn tendencies, and it's going to be exciting. The one thing about this team is going to be a lot of fun. Scotty Barnes, wow, what an interesting game last night. He didn't shoot all that well. He shot okay, but the passing, the unselfishness, he really is like a Magic Johnson kind of player. A huge guy like that can pass, and he's trying to do no-look passes, and he's more likely to try and pass it to people. There's going to be a point where Nick Nurse tells him, you got to stop passing so much, Scotty, because we need you to go ahead and just shoot. And, of course, he got another nasty dunk last night, and, once he starts hitting his three-point shot, it may not be this year, it may not be next year, but when he gets consistent with his three-point shot, this guy's going to be an all-around threat. And people are going to not want to play against him. It's not going to be fun. So Precious, 13 and 13. That's a great stat line. We just had like a lot of good stuff happening last night, even though we didn't win. We came up just short. And I love the fact that this is what Nick Nurse does. He keeps guys hungry in different ways. Like Sam Decker hadn't sniffed the court yet in this preseason. And David Johnson, same thing. And what did he do at the end of the game? He's like, oh, we need scoring all of a sudden? Well, I've got these guys over here, this three-point shooter guy who hasn't gotten any time. He really wants to prove himself. And then I've got this rookie, the third rookie that we drafted, who's actually on the down low, a super scorer. Like David Johnson's a great scorer. You can tell the man has a scorer mentality, and he's confident, and he can score. That's the thing. He's a project. He's going to be coming up in the Raptors system, but this is a dude that is a scorer, and I love that. I love that, because we need guys like that on our team they're ballers, and they fill up the hoop. So that was really smart by Nick to bring those guys in at the end of the game and try and give them a chance to win the game, relying on these really hungry dudes who are trying to make the team and want to improve something. And they came in and they did stuff really fast. Like Decker hitting that shot right away. I felt good for him because, you want these guys to have a chance. Freddie Gillespie was better last night. He did a couple things really well. It would have been great if they hadn't gotten the travel call at that one play where he was going to dunk it. And that would have made the game a lot better for him. But, I don't think he's going to make the team, guys, because we're seeing more from other people. Like Isaac Bonga looked really good last night. Like he has good defense, and he's kind of like slender. So he's quick and he's kind of long. So he's all over the place. So he really fits our kind of team. And, I like Bonga. Bonga looked pretty good last night too. So let's see. Fun guy. All right. Thanks. I'm a fun guy. Thanks for being in here. I did a Q&A after the last game recap. So if you guys want to interact with me, I will respond. We'll talk. We can talk about stuff that happened last night. But yeah, I think it was a feel-good kind of loss. I'm glad it's the preseason. I'm glad we're going to get to play them later. I don't know if he's big enough to play center, Isaac Bonga. It's kind of like a Boucher thing. I think that he just doesn't have the fill out to be like banging and hold weight with guys down low. But he's definitely the kind of guy that can provide help defense. Like he looks like he can block shots and do a couple other things. And he didn't have a bad handle. He dribbled the ball a bit last night and he didn't look horrible. So, but the game last night is a really positive thing to build off of. If you listen to the interviews with Fred and Nick Nurse after the game, they were both very positive and not in bad moods. Fred thinks, Fred knows this is a playoff team. And they get to the playoffs, anything can happen because with development and time, we'll get somewhere. So, development and time. These guys are just going to get better. They're gonna cut out inefficiencies, and we're gonna do better and better and better. Yeah, he's played better than Freddie Gillespie. I feel bad for Freddie Gillespie because look at it this way, guys, from his perspective. Freddie Gillespie is a great basketball player. He was great in college, but he's right on that cusp of maybe being in the NBA or maybe not being in the NBA. And we got in a bad situation with COVID last year, and he came in and he bailed us out in a lot of ways. I mean, we had such a bad year last year with the center position that he was like gold, manna from heaven that just came to our team, and we needed him. And he was a savior for us last year. That's why I really, really wish he would make this team. But you know what this is? This is symptomatic of the fact that our talent level has risen as a team. That last year, sure, Freddie can be on the team last year because we really needed him. We had a lot of guys hurt, but our talent level and our pool of guys has gone up. And his head may not be over the water on this one. And that sucks because he's a nice guy. He's a culture fit. He's a character guy. He's really intelligent and really well-spoken. And I'm rooting for him. But this is one of those sad things where it may be that you just aren't there for this team. So it sucks. It sucks. I want the best for him. Maybe he could go to another team and get on them, like a lesser team. Like, who knows? Maybe he needs to go to Orlando or something like that. He could help somebody else. I mean, I'd love to keep him, but I don't think we have too many good guys. And if he can't guard big guys, he's useless. It's like Dragic. If Dragic can't hit his three, he's useless. If Gillespie can't stop a center, he's useless. So that's just it. We don't want useless guys on our team because we have so many guys that have so much uses and stuff like that. So, but it was a fun game last night. Yeah, the Wizards will take him. Wizards probably would take Gillespie. That'd be good. All right, I'm a fun guy said, it's not bad, though. He would be a 9-5 in Mississauga and still see the guys in Toronto regular when he develops on the G League. See, this is the thing. I'm a fun guy. He's not even good enough to make our G League 905 squad. We're booked there, too. I mean, Champagny, David Johnson, Banton's going to be down there this year, too. I'm sure Malachi Flynn's going to be playing on 905 this year. There really is no spots. I mean, I don't know how that could work. Could we just put him on 905? Can he do that and not be on the team? Like, maybe. I mean, if he'll do that, that'd be great because I'd love to keep him in our system. Because that's the thing. Players like Pascal, they have ebbs and flows. They go up and they have highs and they have lows. And right now, Freddie just may be having a low in his career at the really, really inopportune time. Like, this is the worst time for him to be having a low in his career, trying to make a franchise. So it's tough. It's a tough league. It's a tough league to make it. I want to make a note of one thing real quick because I talked about it yesterday in my preview for the game. The referees. Last night, the referees were really good. I think the NBA is really trying to paint a picture of fairness and integrity with the referees because of all the bad press over the years and stuff like that, and the things that have been talked about with the betting and, the referees. You can go back and look at that Sacramento Kings LA Lakers playoff in the mid 2000s where the calls were so horrible. That is the epitome of the problem with the referees, was they were directing the games in some ways by not calling fouls or calling fouls and different things like that. It's usually you look at the foul differential and you can tell where the referees are kind of like favoring and stuff. Well, last night there was 20 fouls for the Celtics and 20 fouls for the Raptors. And there were a lot of calls that were for the Raptors in Boston. And that's great because normally I don't see many good calls for us. And there were enough calls for us that the home crowd was getting pissed. Like that one call where Tatum got his technical, that could have gone either way. And that's why he was so pissed, is because that's a 50-50 call. And they're at home, and they called it for us. They gave the call to us, which was fantastic. Because when you're doing 50-50 calls, they should be 50-50. Every other one goes the other way. And that's why he was so mad. And he said that garbage and he got the tech was because a 50-50 call that normally would have gone to Boston in Boston went to Toronto. And the fans didn't like it either. That's the thing. Part of the reason why the home court advantage with the refs has happened in Boston for all these years is because the fans are crazy. They will talk some like I'll murder you kind of stuff from the stands to the refs. So it's almost like when the refs are making a call, they're looking, and then the fans are like, and they're like, oh, it's like that. They don't want to mess with the fans because back in the day, the Boston fans were very. There's a couple different words to describe the Boston fans back then, So, they wanted to get out of Boston Garden alive. The referees, let's just put it that way. Okay, I don't know if there's a whole lot more to talk about the game last night. They were scrappy. They played well. If we could focus our energy, our raw energy, a little bit more focused down the laser to where we're trying to do, we're going to get so good. It's just we're so unfocused right now. We're so unorganized. It's just really difficult to watch the game and understand what we're doing. Like between the flex offense and all these different things they're doing in transition and picking up the pace, and then like in half court, what they're doing with switching and stuff like that. Yeah, we're good. We are good. You're right. I'm a fun. Oh yeah. Okay, Lumpy Rex. Thank you for bringing this up. Yes, I want to comment on Sweegie. As I said, Scotty Barnes is calling him Sweegie. The pronunciation of his name, I was trying to say sieve. Like I want to say it's a sieve, like in a kitchen, you use a sieve, but it's Swee. It's Sweegie. Like they call him Sweegie because he's wet. His shot's wet like water. Swee tried that LeBron reverse dunk yesterday, and he is so lucky that thing fell in. Because if he hadn't done that, he would have been on Shaqtin' a Fool in a bad way with us. And we don't want to be on Shaqtin' a Fool. That's not a clip you want to make. So when Raptors get on Shaqtin' a Fool, we don't like that. So yeah, he's never going to try that reverse dunk ever again in a game. Trust me. And I'm sure he's going to he heard all about it from the players on the rest of the Raptors and even Coach Nurse probably after the game about trying that reverse. And man, if it had just rolled right out, he would have looked that would have been so, oh my gosh. But I was like, are you really? You're going to try and do that? What are you doing? He's like, and then it rolled around and went, oh my gosh. I was so glad it dropped because like that was comedy. There was a little bit of comedy in the game from that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Gary did look really nice yesterday. He didn't really still shoot that well. It's just when he finds his shot and he's feeling good, he's got the right muscle memory and the right touch. And he's just, look, there was a report that came out this summer that listed all the franchise in their best shooter on the team. And they had Gary Trent as our best shooter on the team. People were like, what? Gary Trent's the best shooter on the Raptors? He is. He's the best pure jump shooter on the Raptors. He has the most consistent kind of thing. And if he gets going, he gets going. And that shot at the end of the first half is a symbol of his consistency and how much trust the rest of the team has in him. Fred made the extra pass. He could have shot that. Fred could have shot that last shot, but he made the extra pass for the really wide open shot, and that was Gary. So, yeah, Gary Trent, amazingly good yesterday. Well, not amazingly good, but good enough and looking better and better. Give Champagny a full roster spot and put Gillespie on a two-way. That's actually not – I don't know how it works or if that's something that could be figured out because Champagny is looking like a big-time baller for us. Like, I didn't think – like, I'm like, we got 3 rookies in the draft. We're great. Why are we signing this guy Champagny? And who is he? What's the big deal here? And now I'm learning what the big deal is because he plays big. He's a small forward-looking guy, but he plays like a power forward. He's out there rebounding and getting all in everybody's business like he has no business doing, but he does. And there's a certain confidence and swagger to him that I love, Justin Champagny. And I love that he said he interviewed with 17 different NBA teams, and he said, this one. And he picked Toronto. He said, this is the one. Because he didn't get drafted. He could choose where he wanted to go. And he talked to everybody. He said, we were the best of the bunch. And that shows intelligence. So I love the guy. And this is the other thing on the down low. Listen, for the future, guys, listen to this idea. Justin Champagny has a twin brother who looks just like him. And, in sports, sometimes twins ends up on the same team. So Justin's brother ends up coming in the NBA. Hopefully Toronto can get him too. And then I don't know. Sometimes these things with Sedin twins and hockey and different things like that, you get kind of a weird twin synergy. And like there's ESP going on between twins and stuff like. You want that kind of stuff on there. I don't know how good Justin's brother is, but if he's coming up after him and he's any good, we'll have dibs on him because we've got Justin. So who knows? We may have twin power, twin champagne power at some point. We don't know. We could see. But yeah, I love him. I love his heart. I love his drive. And I don't know if we switch him over to full-time on the team. I don't know if we do that just because of a really good preseason. Because, it could be down the road that he has slumps and we need him to develop down in 905 more often. I'd like all these young guys to go 905. Even Barnes. Barnes should go to 905 just at least once this season, just to get a taste of that level and maybe even go down there and dominate for just a little bit, something like that. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying. Twins have been playing together their whole lives, so their chemistry would be insane. That's right. That's right. Wonder twin power activate. The Raptors have such a great net that they cast and get guys from all over the place. That's how we get all these interesting people that are really good. The intangibles, Champagne and the intangibles. He's just a hard worker. And as much as Yuta does something like hustles and is just always covering and running and moving and cutting, Champagne's always fighting. He's always down by the basket fighting big guys that he has no business matching up and messing with down low, whether it was like Al Horford last night or Robert Williams. Excuse me. Champagne's in there like the little dog in the fight, getting in there. And I don't know how he gets these rebounds sometimes. It seems like he's battling somebody he shouldn't beat, and he gets it anyway. I mean, he's just a scrapper. And that kind of energy and work on the team is always welcome. We'd love to have him. There's Buzz. Banton could stay here and be taking some of Flynn's minutes. Yeah. Well, they're different kind of player at this point. Flynn definitely needs to be on 905 this year. I think that Tampa in his rookie year kind of hurt his 905, or his development in some ways, because 905 wasn't real last year. In Tampa, we couldn't do the 905 thing properly. We can do it here with Mississauga and Toronto. And Malachi will really benefit from going down there and getting time down there this year. And it could be that Banton, because of his versatility, his rebounding, his shot blocking, all that stuff, gets more time on the regular roster and is a rotation player. Because like I said, at the beginning of this year, I did not expect Banton, Champagne to be fighting and possibly rotation players by this point. These guys are just over excelling. Banton came in late last night and he looked good. Even in just he got in late. He didn't get really rotational minutes last night. He came in late with the late guys. And, he had a play where he got down near the basket and made something, and he was passing. And, Banton is a special kid. I'm more and more I learn about this guy, the more and more impressed I am, because he's not just a hometown guy that got on his hometown team. He's special. If he went to another team, he'd be just as good or somewhere else. And it's nice that we've got him here because we want more Canadians on the team for sure. All right, y'all. I'm just coming up on a half an hour. Don't want to talk too much more. Tomorrow we got Houston here in Toronto. Hopefully we just beat their ass because Houston's a scrub team. And I'm going to be going to the game again. So I'll have inside scoops from being on the ground floor watching them. I got a thing set up tomorrow where I'm going to – I won't talk about it here. But we're going to go really early, my buddy Steve and I. And they open the doors at 5:30. There will be full capacity in the arena. And we like to go there early because we want to watch all the players shooting early and maybe even get down there and bug them those kids that are at the entryway. They're always trying to get autographs or sign things and stuff like that. We might be down there just kind of messing with them because we know the ushers, my buddy and I. We're sneak down there and see if we can talk to the players or something. All right. Have a good Sunday. Let's see what else you guys just said real quick. I appreciate the interaction. I might do this after every game, a Q&A interaction with subscribers and people who are watching. just shoot me stuff. I'll talk. We'll just talk about the game last night. It's not that Flynn is bad. It's just that we had more. We had more energy with the bigger rookies. Even Johnson had an aggressive push. Johnson's amazing. Honestly, that's a baller, man. That guy's a real baller. And then have fun at the game. Thanks. Oh, Sue. Hey, Sue. You made the live stream. I agree. Hope all the young guys get a chance at 905. Give them more playing time. Just came in at the end. Sorry I missed it live. No problem, Sue. Thanks for watching all the time. All right, y'all. Have a great Sunday. Happy Thanksgiving, Canada. Enjoy. Thanksgiving is important. It's not just a meal with your family and loved ones. It's something to celebrate gratitude, to think about what you really are grateful for in this world. And I'm grateful for the Toronto Raptors. I'm grateful that they're back in Toronto. I'm grateful that we got Scotty Barnes. I'm grateful that this team is on the rise and that it's so much fun to watch. And I'm grateful for my health, happiness, and loved ones and friends and family and other Raptor fans like Raptor Nation, like all you guys. I'm grateful for all of it. So really think about what you're grateful for and practice gratitude in your everyday life. And you'll always be happy and feeling good about things. So thanks a lot, guys. And tomorrow, Houston, I'll do my preview earlier in the day. And just win, baby. That's what I'm saying. Just win. It could be ugly. It could be weird. It could be raw and wild. But as long as we just win, we'll be good. And we're going to be good. Fred believes we're going to get the playoffs, and then we'll make some noise. I like to believe Fred because he's driving the car.